welcome to my channel. I know I am filming in a completely different setup today, but that's because I live in Germany, as some of you may know, and we don't always have great weather on this side of the world. So I'm filming in my kitchen. The windows are bigger here. I use natural light, so excuse me, I'm sorry if the quality is not that great. But anyways, let's get into today's video. I am so excited. Actually, let me tell you a little background story about today's video. When I started being natural, guys, I went on YouTube crazy and always thinking at the back of my mind that all the products that I saw the girls using on YouTube, that I had to get all of those products. But then I thought, but if I get all of these products and then somewhere down along the line I decide maybe I don't want to be natural anymore, if it's not working for me and I've invested all of this money in these products, what's gonna happen? So yeah, so as I was looking, I was like, okay, no, I need to find another way of going on this natural hair journey without breaking the bank, like the American girls say, breaking the bank. Yeah, so this is why I am filming this video, because I want to share some tips with you guys that helped me when I decided to embark on this natural hair journey. So my first tip, I know that growing up I was always told that water is bad for my hair and that it will dry my hair out, and I'm sure that many of you South African viewers, that is, will know exactly what I'm talking about. Our mothers and people around us always told us not to use water that much on our hair because it's drying. That is completely false, and it has taken me, or it took me a while back when I was starting to be natural. It took me a while to actually come to terms with, you know, having to train my brain and tell my brain that no, it is actually okay and it is better for you to use water on your hair as a moisturizer. Our hair is naturally dry, as you all know, and water is moisturizing for our hair. So anyways, make sure that you use water, or you put water on your hair on a daily basis. I picked this up while I was in South Africa. It's a spritz bottle. There was an air freshener in here from Woolies. I got this while I was in South Africa. I just used up the air freshener and I used this water and extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have extra virgin olive oil, that's okay. Use whatever you have. Even if it's just olive oil, it will get the job done, believe me. But make sure that you get this in your hair daily, at least once a day. At least once a day, it's very important. Okay, so my next point, if you see me looking down, I made some notes here so that I wouldn't forget to mention everything. My next point is only use YouTubers as a reference and not as a blueprint. I mean. Oh my goodness, I just messed that up. Not as a blueprint, I mean. That basically means go onto YouTube to get inspiration. I think I even mentioned this in my first video, that the henna treatment works for me, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for everybody. So I am just putting my experiences out there in the hopes that I will be able to help someone or some people, if I am lucky, to, you know, have a more smoother journey. Like I said before, I went onto YouTube and I saw all of these girls and it was somewhat overwhelming. So my tip for you is make sure that you find out what works for you, and what works for another person doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. Okay, next point, Stay away from Afro combs. I cannot even stress this enough. Hold on, I'm going to get an Afro comb now to show you guys what I mean when I say Afro comb, and I'm going to show you another comb that is a white tooth comb that you should be using to detangle your hair. Okay, so this is an Afro comb. You do not need this in your life. Stay away from this. All that it will do is break your hair. This is what you need, or anything similar to this, anything that has wider tooth combs. These are too close together and they will break your hair. Good, bad. Good, bad. Okay, moving on. Next point, co-wash your hair instead of shampooing it regularly. Get me right, don't get me wrong. I am not saying do not shampoo your hair at all, but I'm saying what I'm saying is rather co-washing means using a conditioner to wash your hair. So what you can do is you can put conditioner in your hair and let it sit for a while, hours if you have the time. If you don't have the time, that's okay. I think half an hour will do as well, and wash that off and carry on with your treatment process. Shampoo, most shampoos have sulfate, and sulfate is a very, very dry ingredient. That's another thing you need to look out for when you're buying a shampoo. You need to make sure that it doesn't have sulfate. Honestly, when I started out, I used shampoos with sulfate. I'm not sure if they made that much of a difference or not, but I know that sulfate is drying, so I would rather suggest that you sort of stay away from shampoos that have sulfate in them. But if you can't find any other option, because I know that sometimes shampoos that don't have sulfate are a little bit more expensive, so if you can do without, that's great. But if you can't, then that's okay to just use a conditioner instead to wash your hair. Okay, next point is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, guys, is affordable, it is not expensive, and it is one of the best products that you can have for your hair. The benefits of apple cider vinegar are just endless. If you have what we call in isiZulu inkwetu, if you have inkwetu, which is built up, apple cider vinegar will take that right off, I promise you. But all that you need to take note of is don't put apple cider vinegar directly onto your hair. You need to mix it with water. So what you want to do is you just put, okay, let's say a bottle this big, you put like that much, just that much apple cider vinegar, and then fill the whole bottle with water, and then spritz that onto your hair before you go and wash your hair, and just let it sit in there a little bit and then wash it out, I promise you. So the last point is when you go to bed, make sure that you put your hair in twists. Do not go to bed with your hair out, because when you wake up the next day, I don't have to tell you, you know what's gonna happen when you wake up the next day. So as you can see now, I am wearing a wig, but I am going to demonstrate to you guys what I mean when I say twist. Amagoda okulala. Okay, so this is my hair. So this is what I mean when I say twist, right? So before you go to bed, make sure that your hair is in some form, shape or another protected. And in addition to this, you need a satin scarf. I mentioned this, I think I put a post up on Instagram and Facebook, and shout out to Corsi. She said, or she asked me if a satin scarf doesn't get off while you're sleeping during the night. And that is true. It's so true. I know exactly what you mean, and I know that a lot of you out there can relate with that. It's true. But honestly, after, you know, this is what I said to her, after years of practice, I find that I have sort of mastered the art of putting on a certain scarf and make sure that it stays on my head the whole night. So I'm gonna just demonstrate to you guys how I put it on and how I secure it to ensure that it doesn't run away. So you want to make sure that it's tight, but not so tight that now, you know, you're gonna have a headache or you can't sleep because it's so tight. You just want to make sure that it's tight enough, but also at the same time that it's comfortable for you to sleep. So I made one knot. I'm gonna make a second knot now. So this is just how I do it. This is what works for me. So I've done 2 knots here in the front, and then I'm going to proceed to do 2 knots here at the back. And then this front part, I just tuck it in whichever way works. Okay, and there you go. And this is how I go to bed at night. Leave your comments down below if you have tips or more tips or things that I've left out that I didn't mention that could help somebody who's starting out and is not really looking to invest in a lot of products. Yeah, with that being said, I am also honestly just kind of starting now to get into using more products. Honestly, I think the first four years, all I had literally was just olive oil and water. And trust me, those 2 ingredients, it's ingredients that you already have in your kitchen. So if you have those 2 ingredients, you shouldn't worry about anything else, unless of course if you do have the money to go out and try all of these different products. But if you don't, you know, it's okay. That's what I did. So, and my hair grew and it's still growing, you know. But yeah, so thank you so much guys for watching. Leave your comments down below and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.